Hey guys, welcome to M&M Plants. Today I want to cover this beautiful house plant which is a parlor palm. Now palm is a very common house plant and there are several varieties. Most common is areca palm, bamboo palm, but parlor palm is also very famous. The difference is it's a bit of a dwarf variety, like a smaller version. So I would say it's one of those perfect house plants for your house if you want to have a great look, because palms, I've seen one thing, that they always enhance the look of your house or your office or wherever you have kept them. So I love these plants and they're very easy to take care if few points are taken care of, because the most common problem with palms is that they turn brown, they turn crispy, or they go yellow, and no matter whatever the problem is, it's only because of one or two reasons. So let us understand today what is the perfect way of dealing with them. So first things first, about these parlor palms, I have kept, because parlor palm is a smaller variety, I have kept it in a ceramic pot. But if I share about the other palms that I have, which is, the bigger ones, they are in plastic pots. Now the difference is plastic pots are lighter in weight, ceramic pots are a bit heavier compared to the plastic pots. So why do I prefer keeping my palm in plastic pots? Because whenever it rains, the rainy season, I want my palm to be outside in the rain, because they love rain, they enjoy rain, and that nitrogen in the rainwater helps this plant to be green and that have that great look. So if you have your palm inside your house, try and see if you can manage keeping them in rain. Give them a few rains in a year. That will help your palm to be healthy, grow faster. This is one thing I definitely do it. Now, because parlor palm is anyways a bit smaller, it's okay even if it is in a ceramic pot. It's not harder for me to, take it out outside in the rain. So I do take it out in the rain when it rains. Now, summer is the time when we need to be very careful with them, because it's dry, especially in Australia. Summer is very, very dry. So I make sure that in summer it is not exposed to a lot of light. Forget direct sun. Direct sun is out of the question. I never give them direct sun, whether it is summer or winter or whatever season. But in summers, I also make sure that they are not even getting that indirect bright light, but not a lot of it. Okay, so you have to make sure that they do get the indirect bright light, but if they are towards the low light thing, it's easier for them to survive and it's easier for them to grow, because they don't like a lot of harsh light on them. But also you don't have to keep them in dark. So there is a thin line between these two. If you can figure it out, that would be a great thing. Second thing I want to understand about palm is, I don't want the water to be locked inside, because if that's the case, this will start having yellow leaves and the plant starts dying because of the root rotting. So there has to be a hole in the pot where the water can easily come out. The soil has to be very, very loose. So I would take 50% of normal potting mix, normal garden soil. I would add some aeration. I can also add a little bit of coco peat, let's say 1 handful of coco peat, just so that there is some moisture in the soil. And definitely I'll add 2 handfuls, let's say if this is the pot size, at least 2 handful of organic compost, because I also want my plant to have those nutrients. Because if it doesn't have the correct nutrients, you will see that the leaves will start having that white formation because of the lack of nutrients, and we want these plants to be green, not white or any other color. So organic compost or cow manure or any other organic fertilizer is a good thing. Okay, now in summers, what do I do when obviously my plant is not in direct sun or in a too much of light? I do give it liquid fertilizer, but once in a month, not more than that. If you give your palm too much of fertilizer, it will not like it, because fertilizer it will heat the system up, and this plant doesn't like too much of heat. So once in a month is more than enough. You can give it some seaweed fertilizer if you want. If you feel liquid fertilizer is a bit easier for you to give, just mix it in water, give it according to the instruction on the bottle, and that should be fine. The next thing is to keep the soil moist, because if the soil is extremely wet, again not good. If the soil is extremely dry, again not good. The soil needs to be moist, and that's the reason I would any day add a little bit of coco peat inside the soil. There is compost anyway, so it helps to keep the roots moist. It will not allow the roots to dry up that easily. But whenever you water, you have to make sure that when you put the finger inside the soil like this, let's say, you should feel that it's not very wet, and you should feel that it's not too dry. It's like between those two, and then you just water it, and obviously you have to make sure that the water comes out very easily. So you have to have a proper balance of light and water. That's when you can keep your palm happy. But again, my one most favorite point is to keep them outside in rain. Whenever it rains, it loves it. Also, one of the easiest ways to keep your plants moist, my favorite method is to keep a lot of plants together. So when they are in that cluster, in that plant community, they are very happy. They get that moisture, they exchange that moisture from each other. You know, the water that evaporates from their leaves, from the soil, the other plant is getting that moisture. So that exchange is very healthy, and your plants will be very happy. So if you have kept plants inside your house, see if you can have a plant corner rather than having plants isolated everywhere. If you have a plant corner, that corner will look very good. Your plants will be happy. They'll get that proper moisture, and you will have to take a little less care of your plants if the moisture is correct, because most of these plants, they struggle inside their house because the house is too dry, you're cooking, the gas heater is on, and it's very easy for the moisture level to go down. But if a lot of plants are kept together, it's still not that hard. Now palm, they mostly don't have pest attacks. I have never had any pest attack on my palm. One of the reasons is because even when it's not raining and it's hot out there, it's like a dry season, I like to give it a good shower, cold water shower. When I'm feeding the water, I make sure the water it's not too cold and obviously not hot. But shower, I give it sometimes a little bit of cold shower when it's very hot out there. It just cleans your plant. When the plant is clean, very less chances of having pest attack. When your plant is dirty, has dust and all that, chances of pest attack are more. So try and keep your plant clean. Once in a fortnight, you can just give it a good shower if it's inside the house, and that way it's always clean and happy. And if you see any pest, the best remedy is to have turmeric powder mixed in water. Give it some turmeric powder, spray, mix some turmeric powder inside the soil. That's an organic way of doing it. And if you are someone who is using chemical fertilizer and who's happy to use that, that's your decision. I don't do that. But yeah, organic always works for me, and I can see that it does take time to show results. When you add compost, solid compost and manure and all that, it does take time to show results. But over the period of time, your plant is so happy and it's growing like anything, and you literally need to prune your plants because of the growth. So I bought this Parlor palm for like $7-8. A small baby plant. I bought it from Bunnings. Those who live in Australia, they know very well what Bunnings is. Otherwise, from your nearest garden center, you can get it. I got like this big small plant, and it's growing so well today, and it's a dwarf variety. So obviously it's not going to go that big, but I'm very happy and it's all because of the organic compost that I use, the kitchen waste compost, and nothing else. So correct light, correct water, and the compost is the key to have a great Parlor palm. With that, I'll take your leave. I hope you enjoy this palm video and you keep them in your house. If you don't have it, I would encourage you to get palms, because they are very, very good plants, and they'll just enhance the look of the place they are kept in, and you'll be very happy. With that, enjoy doing a lot of gardening. I'll come up next week with some other content. Bye.